And you all know every single time when it clocks this 1 p.m., my date is in the building. And of course, it is a lunch date. And today, oh my God, I'm super excited that I finally get to sit down with someone that I especially, or they say, Kamoli admire behind. And not only that, so that I follow and I really love her work. I love the way she's, put herself out there and, someone who is, strong and a strong advocate when it comes to feminists, when it comes to children, when it comes to everything, entrepreneur. You're even an author. Yes. Oh my God, guys. Yes. Manuela Mulondo is in studio. Oh my God. I don't know if I even said the best intro, but I have tried my best to put in everything. I follow, by the way, just for your information, I follow every single step on social media.
Thank you so much.
Yes. We're always there liking and say, go shine, girl.
Thank you.
Girl.
Thank you.
And I love the way people actually call you the 360
woman.
Can we just start from there? 360
oh, wow. You
woman.
went right in. Thank you, Daddy.
Let's first start from there.
Yeah. I think it's come from people being able to see the possibilities through my life.
Yes.
I'm a believer, and one of the things that people know is something called the Proverbs 31 woman.
Oh yes.
And so they call me that because they feel like I've embodied the Proverbs 31 woman. I'm a mother. I have two beautiful children.
Oh yes.
10 and almost 12 years old. Two children. I've been married now 13 years. Yes.
Wow.
13 years.
You've seen the Khashoggi. It's not easy these days.
Yeah, I know it's not easy. And yes, there was a period of our marriage when it was extremely hard. And I remember there was a time even, you know how on a divorce paper, like you have to sign, I had signed. So I knew like I was done with this marriage. And so, but as God would have it, that didn't happen. Yes. We've been married 13 years. I own a business, not one business, but multiple businesses. And so I think that's where it comes, like, like she's industrious.
She can do it all.
She can do it all. She's doing so much. And so one of the businesses that I have, but I should say though that all of my businesses are centered in one area. If it's one thing that people would have realized, but it's all my businesses are centered in one area, and I'll tell you what, they're centered around my purpose here on earth. I think one of the biggest discoveries that anyone should have is why they are here. Like, why are you here? To do exactly what? Mark Twain is famously known for saying the two most important days in a person's life: the day they're born and the day they find out why.
Oh yeah.
So when you find out why, that happened for me, and the truth is, it freed me. It gave me so much freedom because there were so many things I wanted to do, so many things I desired to do, so many things that I saw people doing that I thought I could do, so many things that I saw people doing that I thought I could do better. I had all of that. But now when I knew why I'm here, something changed completely, because I was no longer running in anybody's lane. I was running in just my lane. It was about what I bring to the table. Me, not anybody else. I wasn't looking at anybody. I wasn't comparing myself to anybody. No one was my yardstick. It just became about why I'm here on earth, and am I doing what I'm supposed to do? So why am I here?
Honey, there's so much you have done, and I could say you are already doing it perfectly.
Yes.
But I think something that I've been following closely among your works is about children.
Yes.
Like you even took time and you created something called Cradle.
The Cradle.
Yes. Can we talk about the Cradle just a little bit?
Wonderful. So the Cradle, I think, was my first work of my hands.
Nice.
And I think for me, it was just starting the journey of finding out why I'm here. And I'll start with why I'm here, so that then it can explain why the Cradle, right? So I'm here to call out, to challenge. I don't say words like inspire and motivate, but to ignite. That's the word. I'm here to ignite women to their God-given ability. It's God-given,
Yes.
and it is possible
Yes.
to win both at home and at work.
Yes.
And so everything that I do then, therefore, is to help women in that area.
Yes.
So Cradle is one of them. Now, if there's one thing that will hold a woman back, it's not a husband.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a job.
Mm-hmm.
It's not money. It's not, it doesn't matter what it is. It's not a parent.
Yes.
It's a child.
Yes.
Like immediately she has a child, something on the inside of her
Just
changes. She will leave a job. She will leave a husband. She will leave a business. She will leave for what? For her child. She will. And if there's anything that can hold her back, it will only be her. So if she has a promotion at work, and she realizes that it means that she won't be able to, she'll decline that job.
I agree.
She will.
Yes.
If she has to go to another country, she will decline that job.
Yes.
So the one thing that holds women back is their children. And yet children are a gift.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to be a blessing. They're supposed to increase, on you as a woman. They're supposed to make you better.
Yes.
So why is it that the children are holding you back? And usually it's the ages 0 to 3.
Yes.
Now, when you look at the ages 0 to 3, unfortunately or fortunately, the way God did it is that those are the first 1,000 days of a child's life. And they are the most important. 90% of our brains, mine and yours, were developed between the ages of 0 to 3.
Yes.
So the relationships, the environment, the engagements that you have between the ages of 0 to 3 are important for your brain development. Now imagine me and you, if we had the right, because me, it was a house girl who was carrying me with caterpillars to go to bed. It was a houseboy who was sexually molesting me. Those are the things. But you see where, now you imagine if I would be something. I would something else completely. Because I'm in the right environment. I'm with the right adults in my life. We're having the right engagements between us. So that's why I created the Cradle.
Wow.
So that mother's child is raised correctly, even if she's away at work. Yes.
Do you have any testimonies you can speak
Oh my
about?
God.
Just use one.
Just the other day I was smiling. I was smiling because there's a parent who posted something on YouTube. Like, she's not even a YouTuber.
Yes.
But so one of the things that we do is and we started it. I don't think many early childhood centers were doing it, but we're giving updates via WhatsApp. A very long time ago, I'm talking 2014. We used to give parents updates via WhatsApp. And so when her child finished the Cradle, she got together all the pictures, all the videos, all the images, put them onto her YouTube channel. She said I even had to create a YouTube channel so that I can keep these memories. I want to get the message, the exact message that she shared. She said, "I'm so grateful for the care and support you give us and our little people. It means a lot to us. We appreciate you, the Mulondos, and the entire Cradle team. May the Lord send you help when and where you need it." Why? Because we help.
Yes.
We're helping moms. We're not just taking care of children. We're helping moms. And for me, what was important when it came to the Cradle was that we're not only just taking care of children, which was what I had seen before I started the Cradle. You just go to a daycare center and all they're doing is they feed the child sleeps, they get up, they play, but the caregiver is seated there. Just telling you, don't fight with this one, don't move there, come back here, don't do that, as opposed to engaging with a child. And so I realized that for me, what was important was that there was a proper engagement between the caregiver and the child in a proper environment. And so when we started the Cradle, we did things like early stimulation centers. We did things like brain stimulation for the children. We were the first early childhood center to only have daycare. Wow. Only daycare. Everybody else was doing daycare with a nursery school, daycare with a kindergarten.
Yes.
This was the only one. And I remember everyone was just like, I think it's supposed to be daycare with kindergarten.
Yes.
That's when you'll make more money. But it wasn't about money for me. It was about the first 1,000 days of a child's life. If 90% of my brain and your brain was developed in the first 1,000 days, that's the most important time of your life.
Yeah.
Every other thing just builds on that block. And so that's, for me, is what the cradle is. Yeah.
Wow, quite interesting. So, ladies, if you're having your child at home, looks like the cradle is a place to go. Don't cry. Don't say, "Oh my God, I can't do it."
Housemaids.
You need a helper, and the helper could be the cradle for you.
Yeah.
But then, looking at that means you not only the cradle, you've done so many other businesses.
Yeah.
But I bet you have been around so many women. I look through your social media, and I can see every single place you are somewhere helping someone. So, what are those challenges that at least you have met that you believe that most women or people go through when it comes to business in Uganda today?
Ooh, that's a good one. How much time do we have?
Let's use like 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh, 3 minutes. You're killing me, girl. You're killing me. I think the biggest, and I know people have talked about many other challenges, but I think the biggest one for me was our very little belief in ourselves.
Oh, yes.
And I wish we could learn that from men as opposed to fighting them. I wish we could learn that from men. If a man can climb a ladder, in his mind he can fly a plane.
Yes.
Like, for him, as long as he can climb a ladder and he's on top of the building, plane ajisobola. Plane zenjisobola. There's some gentlemen in the room. Am I lying? In his mind, like anything small, I feel like they have so much belief, self-belief.
Yes.
And for them, that would be the challenge. They overbelieve. Then when they give them a plane, they fall. But for us women, you can climb a ladder, but you say, no. I'll just sell granuts. They bring a ladder and you know you can climb it and you say no. So a man is saying he can fly a plane because he can climb a ladder, and for you just like, no, I can't climb it, so let me sell granuts down here. We have very little belief in ourselves, in our abilities, in who we are, in why we are here, and I feel that has held so many women back to what they are supposed to be. I feel like there's so much we could change in this world if only we believe that we can be more than we think that we are, and if we can take the steps therefore. So maybe I can't climb the ladder, but by the time Bosco can climb that ladder,
so can
or
I.
Charity can climb that ladder, then maybe I can. So let me go where I can learn how they climb ladders, so that I can climb up that ladder also. And yes, I might reach the top and I am scared because I'm afraid of heights. But I can see other people and they're not afraid. So can I stand here afraid? Which brings me to the second challenge that women have. We believe that if it's uncomfortable, then it's not right.
Talk about it. That one I know.
Yeah.
You're talking to me now. I'm one of those.
Yeah, we believe that. I'm not supposed to be here.
Yes.
So you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean that it isn't where you're supposed to be. You just need to get used to it. And if you think back, the place where you're in right now, there was a time you were uncomfortable with it. There's a time that you thought that I don't want to be here. Then you got used to it. And then now you're fine. So even the place that you're in right now, the truth is, you will get used to it. So go in uncomfortable, go in afraid and do it afraid. And I think my final one is when we do finally get to that position or that place, then we feel like imposters. Like, should I be here? Maybe I didn't deserve. And then it doesn't help that other women around us are saying, oh, she slept with a boss, oh, she did this, oh, she did this, oh, she did that. Actually, she's not so good. Actually, she's all of those things. And so you feel like an imposter. And right now, I'm in a place where I tell women, you see, the imposter is a reflection of yourself. So go look it in the mirror and say, hi, so good to see you. I see you, a reflection of me, an imposter here.
Yes.
So now you don't think that I should be on that board. And I get that. I'm the youngest. I'm the only woman. Get all the things that the imposter syndrome is telling you is your issue. Get all of those things and list them for it in the mirror. And then after that, tell it. But I'm in the room.
Okay. Well, I love the way you've explained it perfectly. I think sometimes we really have to fight the imposter. We really have to go far. And just to add on that, I think sometimes we forget that by the time you are there,
then you're
God
supposed to be there.
Knew, your entire history, like your entire being, your entire living on earth. God knew Manuela was supposed to be here and able to do some of them. So yes, just be there and be comfortable. But we also want to know, is there a time or moment where you have failed? Where you have tried something, yeah,
that's a good one.
What did you do?
So what I did was, first of all, before I say what I did that failed, I kind of need to contextualize it. One, all advice is correct. By the way, all advice, I'm telling you, all advice you'll ever receive is correct. The advice that tells you that girl is not your friend and the advice that tells you that that girl is your friend, it's all correct, by the way. It's just that, is it yours? Is it for your current season? So I got some advice and I ran with it. This was the advice. Hi, Manuela, how are you? Why don't you have a kindergarten attached to the cradle? Because if you did, the way you are impactful, you will be like this. I
know, the money will flow in.
Because the way the cradle is structured, because it's daycare, children sleep there, children shower there, you can only have X amount of square meters available for a child to be in. But if you do a kindergarten where there was one daycare child, you can have 5. You can have 10 just in a space of one daycare child. It's possible. So they came. They not only talked to me, they talked to my husband. Banange, we were like, okay, together. I think God is talking. It's the next phase. But I knew deep down in my heart. I remember there was a time, of course, God speaks in visions, in dreams, in all of those different ways. But there was a time I knew that my growth would not be vertical. My growth would be horizontal. What horizontal means is you have more daycare centers than you have a daycare center, then you have a kindergarten, then you have a primary, then you have a secondary, then you have a university. That's not my journey. And I learned it the hard way. So we opened the kindergarten. Interestingly. When we opened the kindergarten, no one was asking for kindergarten.
Jesus!
Everybody was asking, daycare, we want a daycare, But the place has been structured.
You put in
for
the money.
Kindergarten.
Oh my God.
We had put in the money. I don't know how to explain. So many people came to the school and said, we thought you had daycare. Why are you now? We waited for that kujula. You remember the one they told us? They said, what's going to be here? You are going to see. We waited to see until we removed those small chairs. And we went back to where God called us to be. Was the advice correct? Yes. But not for me. So that one was a huge flop. Now, I know someone listening in right now is in that place. Hope you've learned something from Manuela's story. Anyway, let's just jump into some personal motivation here. So what really, rocks you or what wakes you up every single day? Yes, you say you have a reason and a purpose. But then there could be that one thing it's like an alarm. So first of all, many people think it's one thing that will wake them up. And I feel like I need to free you. And I need to release you. In case you don't have that thing, I need to release you. Why? I think it evolves. So there was a period in my life when what woke me up was a fear of poverty.
Honey, we all hate it.
No. I don't know if people hated it the way I hated it. And I hated it because of my past. I'd gone through with my mom and my brothers. We had seen poverty. We knew what it was to sleep in a house without a roof, a house without a door, where you have to use the toilet of school. I remember mom would always tell us, please don't forget to poo from school, because at your home
it's not
there's no toilet.
Yes.
Or we used to. Anyway, the story is so long. Let me just leave it.
Summarize summarize it. Yeah.
It's a lot to summarize, but it happened. It was a lot. We went through a lot of poverty. So there was a time when that's all that woke me up. Yeah. I read that scripture that says that a little sleep, a little slumber, and poverty will come and wreck your home. I could not sleep.
Oh my God. Now that, I'm going to put it right in front of my mirror. Now that's going to be right on my mirror.
Yes. And robbers will come, and it's such a word that you see that is so real.
Yes.
You see how you're saying what wakes you up? I wasn't sleeping. To sleep how? He will come.
Yes.
Poverty will come like a thief in the night and rob me. No. I wasn't. So that's why now I wasn't even sleeping.
Yes.
Okay. I'd literally sleep 30 minutes, 2 hours. That's why I was waking up, or that's why I was not sleeping. Then a certain season came into my life when it was purpose. Purpose is what woke me up. After I'd gotten over poverty and I'd said goodbye to poverty, maybe one day we shall have a conversation in that area.
I get your point. You should even give us a book.
I should, but I don't know. I think that there's some really good books that have been written in Uganda.
Yeah.
Apostle Mose has written something, the straightforward financial growth. Yeah. The one that actually pulled me out, completely changed my mindset on money, was Money Cure by Barbara. These are Ugandans, because I'd read financial books from Robert Kiyosaki, all of that, but I didn't understand until Ugandans wrote, and they wrote examples of Uganda Securities Exchange. They wrote in UGX. That's when I understood. But dollars, I was not understanding. So,
Manuela, I know you're so connected, so I'll make sure you give me that number. I need Barbara.
Absolutely.
We need her on the show. We need her to come and talk
Barbara
about it.
Katende, yes.
Yes.
That book started my financial journey and absolutely saved my life.
Well, you're always in a competitive world.
Yes.
Recently, you were in a business reality show.
Oh my gosh, that wasn't recent, girl.
Let's flashback. Let's flashback a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
The way you're saying it, very competitive, and this world is not easy for us females.
Yeah.
It is not an easy place.
Yeah.
But what lessons do you get from there? What could you share, or what have you used now that you learned from then, and now you're using it?
I'm using now. So yes, so the truth is I've always been competitive. I have no problems being competitive. I don't see the color of my skin. I don't see my tribe. I don't see my race. I don't see my sex or my gender.
Yes.
When I come into a room, I feel like one of the things that God has blessed me with is to see each of us as a human being. So even if you're racist toward me, tribalistic toward me, sexist toward me, I can't sense it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that has helped me to be extremely competitive. Now, the thing that I remember this business competition gave me, it was called Inspire Africa, is it gave me a view of the outside world. So because now we were competing with people outside of Uganda, and I feel like it gave me a good touch on what happens outside of my country, because we do need to be exposed. I remember going into Inspire Africa, that was my first time to go on a plane, because I'd never ever I was like, oh my God, and everybody's used and they're going in. I'm just like, what's going on? And they're expecting everybody to know, and I don't know. And I remember even one of the tasks was on the plane, and I didn't know anything. I'm just like, I've never been here. So me, I was doing malo.
Yes.
Like, oh my God. People are in the competition. I'm just doing malo. But that, aside from that, it gave me an ability to see outside of the Uganda and to see our region, because it was a competition between Uganda, Burundi, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Kenya. So it helped me to see us regionally. And again, because I could compete, and then I realized that no, I also don't see regions either. And it prepared me for a time when I was going into the Mandela Washington Fellowship. Mandela Washington Fellowship was now looking at over 200 Africans.
Yes.
And was still competing. And if I could compete with them, then I was not even seeing nations, not at all.
Girl, I want to be in the place where you are right now. That's just amazing. Well, let's go ahead and take a quick break. When we return, we'll be talking about the Dominate all years. There's something going to happen.
Coming Dominate 2025. Absolutely. Yes,
we're going to be talking about that in a minute. Right after the break. And I'll begin asking you a few questions like, okay, so after us attacking your little ones on the Uganda, we should also ask all these journeys you keep making. Yeah? All that will be coming after this. Well, it is the lunch date right here on 88.2 Sanyu FM. And joining me today is Manuela. Yay! Most of you know her as Mrs. Mulondo.
Yes.
Huh? She's in the building. She's an author, a speaker, entrepreneur. She's all round, I could say. 360 woman. And well, Alice just explained it. Before I was like, oh, why are they calling her 360?
Yeah.
Is it because of what she does? You know, there was a time I was following you and you prep, you know, for home for an entire year. And I'm like, woman, how do you do this? Just one day breaks me and you do it for an entire year?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she knows what
my gosh. Let's talk about that. Don't even go far. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it.
For an entire year.
And I think I've come here before and I've spoken to us here.
Yeah.
It's a cheat code. Okay? If you take 3 days away, even if it's a week. Yeah? Stop everything. Let it all collapse. Let it all fall.
Yes.
BEK. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Let it all power.
Yeah.
Yeah? You come back and find that everything is on fire. It's okay.
Yes.
1 week, 3 days away, and plan your entire year. You find that when you come back, you can now live day by day.
Yes.
Do you now finally understand when they say live one day at a time?
Yes.
Now you can actually live one day at a time because you've already planned every other day. Like right now, I don't have to be worried about tomorrow because I had already planned tomorrow a while back.
You know, we're just scared. Sometimes we think that if you worry too much about tomorrow, it never comes.
It's not worrying.
Curiosity kills the cat.
That's not worrying, actually. That's not worrying. Again, I've said like before, I'm a believer.
Yes.
But and I know many of us, I mean, for God and my country. Yeah, we all believe there's a God. Yes. Even our national anthem, Uganda may go to
Yes,
so I know that many of us, for example, when you look at the Bible, the Bible tells us it says, teach us to number our days. There is a need for us to be able to number our days. Many people like to say this, you plan and God laughs. Because you're not planning, you are wishing, you are hoping, you are praying, but you are not planning. That same Bible which people keep saying God laughs, it says that the plans of the righteous man are established.
Amen.
Does that sound like he's laughing?
No. Yes.
He's not laughing. There's another scripture that says that whatever you decide on a matter, so it shall be.
Amen.
You understand what I mean?
Yes.
Yes. So, I don't know how many scriptures there are about the need for us to be able to plan. Planning is... let me ask you, just when the Spirit of God was hovering in the story of creation, you remember, what was he doing?
He was planning
things. That's why he knew, when I start creation, I don't start with a giraffe.
Oh, yes.
No. He's like, I have to first see. So let me first create light. Then after he saw light, he slept. Okay, not slept, but you know what I mean. He left, the day went. Then he came back the next day. Then he tackled the next thing, which is another problem many of us have. We want to tackle many things. You want to create light, you want to create the sky, you want to create the fish, you want to create the... No, even the one whose image you were made in, he created one at a time.
By one.
I keep telling people, the day he created light, was the earth suddenly without void? Was it with form? No. It was still without form. It was still void. Only that now you could see. Then after he had finished, he separated the sky. But down, the water was still in the place of the land. The land was still in the place of the... It was... Then that's when... Then the next day he said, now let me separate the land. And then he's like, okay. Now this looks good. Now I can see. The sky is up. I can see now. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the land, this is the water. Okay. Now let's start creating some small things, which is another thing that I talk about, even when you are taking away that week or those 3 days away to plan, is that you need to think about those small, you start with the big things.
Yes.
When you're planning your year, start with the big things, the non-negotiables, so that when the small things come, they fit into the spaces that have been left with the big things. So for example, for me, my family is my big thing.
Yes.
So when you call me, for example, said, we go and we dance the whole night, weekend away. Guy, I have homework to do with that. I can't come. Because I know once I come, I'm going to disorganize a big thing, which is my children's schedule.
Yes.
So when they say, you've planned the whole year, they think that I've also planned to go to the Chidula to dance the whole night, also plus the children. No, I've not. I have picked my children. I have picked work. I have picked the big things that are priority for me at that time. You understand? So planning means that you can see ahead. And let me tell you, by the time the Bible tells you that the Holy Spirit will show you things that are to come. Which things is He showing you?
The ones to come.
The ones to come. That means He will show you what is coming.
Yes.
That means you can plan.
Yes.
So why aren't you planning? What is refusing you?
Oh, Manuela, you know what? I need to bring you back here. And for those listening in, I bet you're getting this for free. But you know, she's a very expensive woman. We're getting this for free for 1 whole hour, and I'm super honored and lucky. But let's just dive into, they say social media is something else.
Yes.
And I've got to realize you take time to talk to us and you give us data. Yes. Sometimes we sit there and you're like, oh, mama, her life is so perfect. And then immediately they were like, oh, okay, she showed us this. And then one day she showed us the kids and we're like, oh, what happened? Like, what's going on? I believe you met so many people who came for you so hard on the kids not knowing, the language.
Yeah.
What's your take? What's your say about social media and normal life and all that?
I mean, when we share our lives on social media, we're aware. I mean, if you ask me, do you remember when you asked me the question on what wakes me up in the morning?
Yes.
The third thing is obedience. I'm very obedient to the call of God on my life. If you asked me, I would rather not have my children on social media. I would rather not be on social media because I know the effects of social media.
Yes.
I would rather just be there and you abuse me alone or you abuse my husband alone because he's also on social media on his own. But I wouldn't want to bring in my children. But if God tells me there are women out there who need to see how to interact with children.
Yes.
So you will have to put your children on social media. Painfully. Obediently. I will do it.
After that, by the way, I had to teach my daughter how to say Bible. Like I had to teach her artiso. I was like,
now you see? You understand?
I learned from you.
Exactly. So I bared the abuses, the whatever it is, because there is a certain woman who needs it.
Corey.
Even if it is one woman, I will get abused.
Yes.
Because I am going to be obedient to the call of God on my life. That video was to help us. The thing that they were abusing us about was the reason we had done the video. To say, but people, how much local language do our children actually know?
Oh, yes.
And then someone says, no, you are too proud that your children don't know. I said, no, you've got it wrong. Because also, we need to be aware of what's going on in this world. One, we're in an intertribal marriage.
Yeah.
Most times, who teaches the local language in a home?
A mother.
It's a mother. I'm not a Muganda. I'm an Alur. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, me who's an Alur, I don't know Alur. Ask me why.
Why?
I was born in an intertribal marriage.
Oh, yes.
Where the mother is not an Alur.
That's, oh, yes.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So for her, she knows her language because she was born by two Bahima parents. So she knows the language. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember one of the things that my dad called me after that. I said, I found people abusing you on TikTok. What's going on? I told Daddy, please, it's just TikTok. You just leave that TikTok. No, I'm going to find out. I'll call you back. And I remember he called me back and he said, I don't regret the fact that you don't know that language. I don't. I don't regret it. You know why? Because I don't know what the world is coming to. And where the world is going, I don't know if language is important.
True.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
That is my own father, as I rested. I said, if my father is like him, he also is okay. He's like, I'm like, now.
And just to give you the flowers, we loved it.
Thank you.
And we learned from it.
There's a comment that I absolutely loved, and it was my favorite one. I wish I could find it. It's a lady who said, it's interesting how we've jumped to the language section of this. We've not seen that there's manners in this. We've not seen that there's joy in the family. We've not seen honesty, because I remember there was a point which they had stolen, and they were like, okay. You remove these marks from me.
Yes.
They didn't see honesty. They didn't see godliness. They saw local language. And yet you have many children who know their local language, but they don't know. They have no manners. They're not honest. I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a liberating comment.
And well, to talk about your social media, just so you know, I'm looking for Mr. Right. If I find him, we're so going to take the trips you take. The trips you take for a minute, like, where is this man? And we redo these pictures. If Manuela can do it in Mulondo,
yes, we can.
We also want to redo these pictures in Paris, want to redo them in... How many countries have you been to now?
Oh my gosh,
as a couple? You see what I'm talking about? So because of that, I would really want that. But then let's talk about the Dominate 2025.
Yes.
Yeah. What's happening and when is it happening? What should we do? What should the listeners do? Yeah. And on top of that, add anything else you want the listeners to know.
Yeah. Again, I like backgrounds. I'm a teacher, so that's why I always go back to the background.
Yes.
Like I shared why I'm here on earth. And it's really about women, to call them out, to ignite something within them, that God-given ability for them to win both at home and in the workplace. Yeah. And usually I work with married women, older women who have children, and that's when we go for planning for a getaway. Yeah. Yes. But then while I've worked with them for all these years, one of the things that I realized is that if we had known some of the information I'm teaching now when we were younger, maybe some of the mistakes we are making now that are causing us this overwhelm would go. I'll give you an example. Some of the things that I'm sharing with women when they are older and they have children and all of that are things like meal planning. Yeah. The food in Uganda is the same. The potato is still going to be the potato today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Yes. So why isn't it planned out through the year? Somebody can say, hey, we've taken so long without eating potatoes. But the truth is, you can plan to eat potatoes 3 times a month for an entire year. You really can. Now, when I've said it, can't you? Don't you see that days?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very
You can have
possible.
sweet potatoes 3 times every month for a year. Or once every week for a year. You can. And you can say, I'll have potatoes on Monday. Every Monday I'll have potatoes for a whole year. If you plan that when you're single, even when you're married, the potatoes will remain.
Yes, yes.
So if you planned it when you are single, when the time comes and you're married, you don't have to change anything. Even when you have a baby who's weaning, you wean them on the potato.
Yeah.
You mash it, you put milk, you will have saved yourself thinking, now do I need Irish? Now do I need mukene? No, plan the mukene while you are single, so that when the baby comes, the baby finds mukene. You're not thinking about it. It's not new. The food is the same. The fruits are the same. The vegetables are the same. And they are such a variety.
Yes.
When you think about it, you can eat every day a different meal in Uganda for a month, and no one would. You'd be okay. You can eat different fruit, a different vegetable,
we are so blessed.
We are so blessed. So why don't you have a menu? Why are you eating the same food every day? Yes. Why? It can change. On top of that, apart from the potato being the same, you can boil it, you can fry it, you can bake it. Even when you say that I'm going to eat potato every Monday, every month, for a year, you can say from the first Monday I will boil it, the next Monday I will fry it, the next next Monday I'll roast it. It does not have to be the same.
Yes.
So if you could plan these things while you're single, when you're married, this is not a problem. Now I'm saying it's a problem because for me it was.
Yes.
Would reach home and would eat the same food. Rice beans. Why? Because beans, like, you could put them in the cooker, that pressure cooker.
Yeah.
It cooks quickly. You do done. Rice, done.
Yeah.
Avocado, then you throw there.
Yeah.
So you find that you have eaten rice and beans 3 times in the week. And then the other 2, you're like, no, baby, let's get something from out. Some pizza. Really? Really? So if you had sorted out, now that I'm using that as an example, but there's so much, things like planning our clothes, things like, there's so much that you could have planned if you knew how to keep time, how to be organized, how to have a routine. If someone had taught me some of these things when we were younger, there were certain things that were not going to be difficult for me when the time came for me to have children, to have a husband, to have an increased, like for me to be promoted in this life. People's homes are so disorganized, even the house girl is disorganized.
That is
like she came to organize naye also her.
She got it disorganized and she went with it.
She doesn't know what to do with this.
So this is what we should expect from dominate.
So dominate is, for me, it's a preparation area.
Oh.
It's a place where you come to get prepared, to get your mindset right.
Yes.
To get your tools right, to get skilled right, to prepare you for a time.
Do we come with these stubborn men? Because I'm saying this because we get organized and then they disorganize us. Or is it strictly women?
No, it's strictly women, and I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you this as somebody who's gone through it. My husband didn't understand my organization. I remember there was a thing that he used to do. I would ask, is it when are the days of beans? I would find him on the menu, finding out the day of beans.
He avoids it, right?
But after a year, he got tired of it. Now he eats the beans because he's like, you know what, I'm also tired and exhausted. I'll eat them. Or he will come and tell me, Manuela, I want us to plan every Sunday. The truth is, when you call any man, and I say it without a shadow of doubt, we have one here in this room.
He's here.
When you call any man and ask him his testament of his life, who he is grateful for, it's a woman. He will say his mother. He will say his daughter. He will say his wife. Have I lied?
No.
I have not lied. So if that is the case, that means we have more influence by us learning than we actually think. And I know we've been saying, men, go and also learn, go and also learn. No, the person who teaches most men
is a woman.
So
how much should we pay and
50,000 shillings
only? I even thought you're going to give us about what?
No,
I am
50,000 shillings.
Manuela, I'm paying mine now.
No,
after
please
this show.
hurry up.
So if someone wants to get their ticket or to be part of it, where should they go?
So the first place that they can go to, if you are on MTN, you can, if you have the Momo app,
yes,
you can go onto the Momo app and you'll see a spot for buy ticket.
Yes.
So click buy ticket and then they'll show you very many other events that are going to be hosted. But scroll, I think ours comes now second or first, I think. Click the event and buy your ticket. They'll ask you for your email address. Put in your email address. That's where your ticket is going to be sent.
Wow.
If you don't have a smartphone, you can use USSD code *165*20#. I think we are event number 5.
Yes.
So just put in event number 5 and that's okay. But if you're not on MTN and you are on Airtel, you can go to www.momoticketing.com, flip through the events, find us, or you can actually go to events they confuse me. events.iotech.io. The IOTech is IOTEC. It's happening on 12th April. We have about 10 days to go. 12th April. It's a Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Do you know what the dress code is?
What's the dress code?
Be comfortable. That's how easy
I love that.
That's how
so many women, when the child comes in, they really get, low self-esteem, dress code and all that is really
just come.
Manuela, I want you back on the show. Let's just say bye because our time has caught up with us.
Yes.
Say your last
remarks.
1 hour. Can you imagine?
No.
I even can't believe it.
I'm so sad. I want some more.
Please say your byes.
I want to encourage the women out there. We are the ones that go through so much pain, and yet we don't have to.
Yes.
I've been privileged to watch men. They have their struggles. But one of the things that I admire about men is their resilience. And their resilience doesn't equal ours. Ours is a far greater. Yeah. There's so much more that we go through, but there's certain areas where we can learn from men. And I think that it's time for us to learn. It's time for us to learn things like putting ourselves out there, taking the risk, going to places where no one has gone before, being daring, standing strong. I think those are things that we can learn from men. And together with men, I think that we can be even much better. We're the ones that raise nations.
Yes.
We're raising both girls and boys. And I feel like the boys in our lives need us to be fully woman, fully mom, fully daughter, fully entrepreneur, fully CEO, fully teller, whoever we are, whatever we are, whatever we're doing, to be fully that, so that they can be the best version of themselves.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been my date, Manuela Mulondo.